Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. You know, I saw a recent video from the Viking Samurai channel where he spoke about actor, martial arts practitioner Michael Jai White, and some comments that Michael Jai White had made about a few martial arts figures as to them being legitimate fighters. And the host of the Viking Samurai platform or channel feels like I do. Michael Jai White really can't speak negatively about people and great about himself. Just cutting to the chase, Michael Jai White says a lot of things that are inflammatory about other martial arts practitioners, past and present, Bruce Lee included. He made the statement a while ago that Bruce Lee could be beaten by him by virtue of his extra weight that he was carrying. So that didn't go very well. I commented in the video, and then other subsequent responses came to pass. And so he also was questioned on DJ Vlad, or Vlad, the Vlad platform or channel, and he made the statement that Jean-Claude Van Damme was not a fighter. He made the statement that Steven Seagal was not a fighter. And a couple instances where, in the Seagal situation, where he was on the set of a movie and he basically made inference that Steven Seagal was getting beside himself and that he could take Steven there if he had to, because Steven Seagal was not a fighter. That was a very arrogant response from Jai White. And he made another statement about Van Damme in a situation, saying that he was beat up by some individual and that he's not a fighter. First of all, Michael Jai White was not there, according to others. And then, on top of that, he made the statement that Bruce Lee was not a fighter. Let me do this, my due diligence. First of all, I'm going to say this so that the trolls don't attack me too vehemently. I have respect for Michael Jai White as a martial artist. He's very good. And I have respect for him as an actor who does martial arts on film. He's very good at that as well. But what I don't respect about Brother White is how he makes this attempt to defame or discredit other martial arts practitioners and or figures, masters in the art, and make himself seem as though he's as good as or even better, and mainly the latter part, thinking that he's better. I think it's showboating. I think it's him trying to upstand someone else because he's the current thing maybe in his mind. That's not good. There's one thing to be arrogant in one respect where you are very confident about your skill and so forth. Bruce Lee was that type. He didn't go around saying, I can beat you and I can beat you and I can beat you and you're not this and you're not that. That was not Bruce Lee. But that is Michael Jai White. And he does it in sort of a cunning kind of way. just don't say anything at all if you can't say anything to compliment another individual. Now, someone might say, well, what brother teacher you talk about Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee? Yes, I do. I just keep it real. Chuck Norris never respected Bruce Lee for who Bruce Lee really was, and the fact that Bruce Lee put Chuck Norris on the map, because Chuck Norris would never have achieved the fame today that he has had it not been for Bruce Lee. That's right out the park. That should just be a no-brainer. And there were dozens and dozens and dozens of other people who skyrocketed their career off of Bruce Lee, if we keep it real. Now, as far as Michael Jai White is concerned, again, Van Damme is a fighter. He has on record way more fights than Michael Jai White has. And Steven Seagal, I wouldn't put anything past Steven Seagal. This man has studied in Japan, Aikijitsu, Aikido, in Morihei Ueshiba School, and Kenshin Aikido is a system I believe that he studied. Michael Jai White is not really humble when it comes to him saying that another person is not a fighter and making it seem and or appear that he is. No true martial artist has that type of arrogance. No true martial artist, especially a proficient, long-time martial artist or practitioner or even a master, to say the least, ever makes those types of statements about other practitioners or masters in the martial arts. They just don't do it. We just don't do it. You know, there's a code. We have to be honorable, considerate, and loyal. Notwithstanding, it doesn't mean that you cannot speak critically about certain aspects of a person's martial arts training or even their style and or system. You can be critical, but you do it in good taste. You don't beat up on other people, in other words, just to elevate yourself. And that's the feeling that I get from Michael Jai White. There are others, but him in this particular instance. And I have nothing personally against him because I don't know the man. I'll make this perfectly clear, and please make no mistake about it. I don't have any animosity towards anyone, especially martial artists. But I do believe in telling the truth. And as many years as I have in the martial arts, and I have been on this pilgrimage, this journey, since the very first day. I have over half a century in the martial arts, in various disciplines. I have and stand no reason to berate someone, to talk down on someone. Notwithstanding, there have been some that have talked about me. Now, as it relates to Michael Jai White, I have no ill will towards him at all. I have no heaven to put him in, nor do I have a hell to put him in. It's neither here nor there. I'm just simply saying, if it was someone else, as a martial artist, you just have to be careful what you say about other people's station in life as far as their value and what their contribution is in the martial arts, when you're no better than those individuals that you're talking about. And this is the truth. Now, was Bruce Lee a fighter? I hate to use that term all the time, fighter, because we really shouldn't be trying to talk about fighting in the first place. Was he proficient in his craft? Par excellence. Is Steven Seagal a fighter? I'd say so if he had to. Is Jean-Claude Van Damme a fighter? I'd say so if he had to. They all have their respective skill sets. And we should never paint with this broad brush someone's value or the efficacy of what they do. So I don't think Michael Jai White knows Steven Seagal well enough to make that assertion. And I don't think he knows Jean-Claude Van Damme well enough either. I just think he needs to stay in his own lane. And if someone asks him something, if he can't say anything good about the person, he needs to sit on his ego and leave it at that. That was it, and that was all.